Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much again for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Let's take a look here at XRP, see where we're at here. We are testing and or potentially breaking this ascending trend. It's running concurrent in a lot of ways with these moving averages. So how this breaks up or breaks down here soon will tell us a lot. But between now and then, it is generally best to wait. Just going to give you some friendly advice this weekend on key levels to add to your position if the price pulls back or places to sell if it goes up. Because just simply put, right now, Bitcoin's on its way down. And I think that we're going to see a little bit more of a correction. It doesn't make a lot of sense to take a long right now, specifically on a low volume weekend. Okay, so that's just me being responsible and trying to tell you the right things there instead of just telling you every single day it's going to go to the moon because of X, Y, Z. Right? That's just not how I do it. Anyways, CryptoCache.tech is a site linked down below if you want to become a better trader. We have a nice, awesome Discord over here and just took some really nice profits last week. Right now we're in a couple of long positions, but we're waiting to take those trades just based on the simple fact that we're wanting the market to kind of stabilize and bottom out a little bit more. And I think it's best to just wait a little bit longer. That's just my personal thoughts. Why don't you comment below, let me know what you're thinking too. Either way, 215 is that heavy concentration of liquidation. We talked about that before being a nice support level for us. So as market makers manipulate the markets, they generally like to sweep those areas. So I would say a limit order in the 210 to 215 for a long consideration is a decent idea at this moment. However, we may not see that, just kind of throwing it out there. Based on liquidation, it would make sense for us to see 215 to 210 again. Now, you could argue the same thing for 235 to 240 as well. We get closer to 235, strong chance we break through that level to sweep that upper macro liquidation range. Taking a look though here, is the reason why longs are not a great idea. You see liquidation long delta, there isn't any. There's more shorts. Basically we have 600 million worth or value essentially worth of shorts versus longs. So there's more shorts in the market, implying that a long position right now is less appropriate, or I don't know what word you want to use to describe it, but it's not a good idea. It's basically just a higher risk. That's the concept. Anyways, 226 is that local point of control. So in the last 7 days of trading, we've seen the most amount of volume at that area. That basically implies that we're going to have some resistance there. However, we zoom out. Ever since we've been in this low $2 to 230 range, we see the most amount of volume at roughly where the price is actually at right now, at about 218 to 220. So that does reiterate and emphasize support. Another thing to emphasize support is this 0.618 fib level. Right? It's important to understand that this is what was referred to as confluence. Right? A 0.618 fib level means very little if there's nothing else to support it. We have moving averages and the 0.618 fib at this level of control here with all the volume, emphasizing support at 218. That's likely the local bottom or macro bottom, depends on how you look at it. But I don't think we're going to go too much lower there. The only thing that would incentivize the price to go lower is that liquidation range between 210 and 215, right? So that's just something to be mindful of. So instead of shorting to that area, you're better off waiting for longs in that range if that ever comes to pass. That's kind of where I'm at. I generally try not to take shorts when we have bullish type of trends, but also in the overall sense here, I'm trying not to take a long just yet. I'm waiting to be patient for an opportunity that may or may not happen. Okay, that's once more how being a patient trader will work. In a lot of cases, you got to be patient for things that may or may not happen. And at this point, the daily time frame is still looking pretty decent. In fact, most coins are looking pretty poor on the daily time frame, where XRP is actually looking pretty good overall. Okay, so not claiming it's phenomenal, but it is definitely something that's worth noting. 4-hour time frame, however, it does appear to be a bit on the divergent side. Most coins are exuding this behavior here. Money flow index specifically is very low, just based on selling pressure going into the weekend. That's normal. So it's kind of a false positive, but generally speaking, when you do see money flow index this low, it does imply we're going to see a bounce in the relative near future, just because money needs to flow back into this coin because it's only been going out. It seems strange, right? How could the price then sustain itself when that happens? It's a unique way in which the price action does move relative to volume, but at this point, the overall sense here is that we're shifting momentum and we're working ourselves into a channel here. And a lot of times when you see these kind of channels, they are bearish because they derive from the upside, okay? Generally speaking, they're going to break down. It's a bearish type of rectangle pattern. So I'll actually leave that on the charts, and I'll post that playout chart on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. It's all available there for you if you want. Also, don't forget to join us over at Bitunix too, folks. Awesome reward bonus between now and the 25th of July. The last thing I want to touch on here is the hourly time frame. I just touched on here the simple fact that we're below the cloud. We have a lot of resistance above us. I think a little bit more downside would make a lot of sense to sweep the local lows here, right in that 215 range. So My money is on 210 and 215. That's where I'm going to consider entry. So I'll just go ahead and set an alert there. If that triggers, I'll reevaluate, see if it's worth taking a trade. Between now and then, patience, folks. It's a weekend. Try not to overtrade. And hope you all have a good rest of your day. Appreciate you once more for always hitting that like button, commenting below. Feel free to reach out. Don't hesitate to be a stranger. Or no, don't be a stranger. Don't hesitate to reach out. You can be a stranger too. Just, stranger danger. Anyways, have a good rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much again for your time. Take care.